This was mentioned yesterday to us here at Bloomberg Surveillance. Is this just new products and cannibalize the old products?
Well, I think Apple has an opportunity with all these expectations for a cheap iPhone and a bigger iPhone. I go back to the days of the original iPod. The first iteration revolutionized the industry, and then they expanded the line with all these different things because a lot of people wanted a lot of different kinds of devices.
Right.
So I think it would make a lot of sense if later this year Apple came out with the family of iPhones.
Okay, so Tim Cook will trot out, he'll have the black turtleneck on and the audience and the adoring masses and all that. Do they need a jump condition, or do they need a set of iterative products?
Well, I think that people dream of the big revolution all the time, but I do think just as they expanded into the smaller iPad by popular demand, they saw other people coming out with these things and said, hey, we could do that better, and it is a huge seller for them.
It's a huge unit seller. All those blooms, Sarah, it's doing great.
But to your point, Tom, and I think it's an interesting one, what we have seen from Apple is the last one was iPhone 5. I misspoke earlier and said 5S, but it's not a brand new iPhone. As you get these new iterations, it becomes a little bit less exciting than the new product.
Well, and that's part of the unfair criticism, I think, because the first iPhone is a revolution. Whatever comes after is iterative to an extent. And Samsung just experienced that with the S4, which got greeted with a lot of, well, it's a slightly bigger screen and more software, just like the iPhone 5 was.
Okay, Walter Mossberg in the Wall Street Journal, Rich Jaroslawski at Bloomberg. Here's David Pogue in the New York Times. I've never seen reviews of an Apple product like I see these tepid reviews of the Samsung phone. Is Samsung real competition to Apple in your world of product and aesthetic?
Personally, I don't think so, because they've got this supposedly awesome device, but then people criticize it for it's plasticky. It doesn't feel like an iPhone 5 is like a jewel. I couldn't stop smiling at mine for months.
Do you agree?
The iPhone 5?
Yeah.
I like it, but I was a little dismayed at how uncool it was compared to the last one. It didn't do anything drastically different. My question to you is on Samsung. You're the ad man for Apple. Is Samsung doing a good job marketing its message? Well,
they've been out there in all these places Apple hasn't. They've been booming while Apple's been relatively silent. The Super Bowl, the Oscars, and they're creative. They're throwing celebrities out there. They're doing unexpected things.
Right.
Apple is out there with, lots of stuff going on.
Ken, let's throw a celebrity you. John Golub with us from UBS, celebrity U.S. equity strategy. You're throwing a question here, John.
Well,
Mr. Siegel.
I think it's been the question that I've been hearing for a couple of years. Why is Apple not trading more as a higher price of stock? Which is, it's so hard to innovate and it's so easy to copy that it's, to your point, it's a bit of an unfair game if you're the innovator, and the market was always questioning at some point in time. It just, they just run out of some, I think Sarah's saying, out of their mojo, and I'm not sure. Can Apple be successful as a company without having to continually push the edge of the envelope, where Samsung maybe not have to do the same?
No, I think Apple has established a pattern, which is we innovate, and I think people have come to expect that. That's how they got out of the mess they were in. When Steve Jobs came back, it was teaching the company to innovate again and do it constantly. And now it's, the dark side of that shows up when people expect it year after year after year, however unreasonable that might be.
Well, when you think innovation, you think Steve Jobs, no question. You worked with him closely. You were there during the years that he was there. How has the company changed since? Well,
I think the values are all still there. Steve did an incredible job of instilling his values into the company. The same inventors are there, the engineers, designers. Tim Cook and the executive committee is certainly, well versed in Apple values, and they're dealing with a world that Steve Jobs didn't have to deal with. Things change.
Are you going to enjoy your new higher dividend?
I will enjoy my higher dividend.
Very good, Ken Siegel. Thank you so much.